The admirals are said to be the Navy's greatest military might, the strongest representatives of the organization. Akainu and Aokiji fought for 10 whole days to determine who would become the new Navy Fleet Admiral. Now, if you're like me, you've probably wondered many times why we've never gotten to see even just a glimpse of that fight. Is it simply Oda off-screening major battles like he tends to do? Or could it be that he is intentionally withholding this scene from us due to a majorly important incident that occurred between these two characters on that day? What if the fight didn't go exactly how we all think, and there was a twist that would explain everything between these two men and the potential secret they could have been hiding from everyone this entire time? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Nature Boy, and this theory video I'm about to discuss with you guys today is going to absolutely blow your mind. So this is just a theory that I have on what could have happened between Aokiji and Akainu during their fight on Punk Hazard. So just before we get into the theory, we're going to give a little bit of quick context here just in case anyone has forgotten. So just before the time skip, right after the Battle of Marineford, we see Sengoku is sitting down with Kong and he is discussing his retirement. He wants to step down as a Navy Fleet Admiral. And he tells Kong that he wants to suggest Admiral Aokiji for this role. However, later on we find out that other top dogs within the Marines organization actually opposed this idea and suggested that Akainu take the role of Fleet Admiral. And this caused major tension between Aokiji and Akainu and who could become the next potential Fleet Admiral. So they decided to settle this in a battle to the death, for whoever wins that fight will be the Fleet Admiral. And according to Jinbei, we find out that they actually fought on the island of Punk Hazard for 10 days, with Akainu winning that fight and becoming Navy Fleet Admiral, and Kuzan stepping down from the Marines altogether and is now a part of the Blackbeard Pirates. So now with that context, let's get into the theory. So the theory I have is that Aokiji actually won that fight. They did fight for 10 days, they did fight on Punk Hazard, winner was going to be Fleet Admiral, and Aokiji won that fight, even with greater wounds than Akainu had. However, due to his laid-back nature and not caring for the role, but insisting a guy like Akainu should not have that spot, he fights and wins. Akainu, being one of the most determined men in the series, tells Kuzan that if he wants to be Fleet Admiral, he has to kill him right then and there. As we all know, Akainu is an extremely determined character, and I believe he would have rather died in that position than to give up the Fleet Admiral position with just a loss. So if you guys are liking the video so far, why not go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps me go a long way in making these videos. So please subscribe. Kuzan, being lighthearted in nature, would not necessarily want to kill a fellow Marine simply for a position, as that would not be his justice. But he also doesn't want to let Akainu run the Navy on his own either, so he is forced with an ultimatum here. So Kuzan comes up with a proposition for Akainu that would be ideal for both of them. That they are both in charge, but of different operations. Kuzan proposes that he wants to leave Navy headquarters and infiltrate Blackbeard to find out how powerful his potential and plans really are. And this scenario is ideal because they both get what they want here, with Aokiji finally being able to infiltrate the Blackbeard Pirates, because without this happening and the world thinking that he left the Marines, it would be virtually impossible to have someone strong enough to invade the Blackbeard Pirates. Had they sent someone unknown, they probably would have been too weak to make any impact when the time was needed. And had they sent someone very strong, they were probably going to be well known as a Navy Admiral or something like that, and the infiltration mission would not work. So this was the perfect scenario for an admiral to lose to another admiral in a fight to the death and leave the world government, supposedly, which gives him someone that is as strong and well known, but it's also supposedly had left the Marines, so it's a perfect ideal scenario for Aokiji to infiltrate the Blackbeard Pirates. And on the other hand, it's perfect for a character like Akainu. Not only does it fill his ego that he gets to become Fleet Admiral and the leader of the Marines, but it also sends a message to the world that with someone that strong leading the Marines, it's going to inject fear into those weaker pirates and prevent them from doing a lot of wrong, with the Marines right there ready to go. Also, Akainu is merciless and has killed Marines before for simply hesitating to fight at Marineford, or Kobe for simply wanting to stop the needless killing. I can't see him sparing Kuzan's life in the last moment simply out of caring for him or sympathy or whatever you want to call it. They both agreed to a fight to the death, that the loser of this battle would die, so why wouldn't he just finish the job? Kuzan, on the other hand, would not necessarily need to kill Akainu in that position, as it's not his justice and it's not who he is. And Akainu would never let Kuzan be Fleet Admiral unless he finished the job and killed him. And I think this is also why Akainu gets a mad reaction at the mere mention of Kuzan's name when the Gorosei bring it up, because he is not happiest about losing that fight or having to share that role in reality with him. And every time the name Kuzan is mentioned, it is a reminder to him of his loss in battle. And if you're thinking this could ruin him as a big villain in the future, this doesn't necessarily have to be revealed until after his fight. So, for example, me personally, I think Akainu is going to fight Sabo in the end of the series, not Luffy. So if he did fight Sabo, it could be in a way where during that fight, nearing the end of that fight, we get a quick glimpse back to Punk Hazard and we see that he actually lost that fight. And this could be done for many reasons. This could be done to highlight, say, the insecurities in his character that maybe he'll have during the fight with Sabo, and it'll be highlighted even more seeing that flashback with Kuzan. Kind of like a Kaido situation with his fight with Luffy, where during the end of that battle, right before he lost, we get a very quick flashback to see some more of his character. This could very well be done with Akainu, where that small flashback is actually exposing some sides of him that we did not know from that fight with Kuzan many chapters ago. And I think not only does this not hurt the character, but I think this would also bring more depth to the character, seeing more of his character and some of his flaws, especially if it's done right before his final downfall. So comment down below what you guys think of the theory and how likely it is to come true. And if you guys did enjoy this video, then you will thoroughly enjoy my theory video on Blackbeard versus Law and how I think that fight will turn out a lot crazier than everyone thinks. So go ahead and watch that video, guys. I'll leave it here for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Nature Boy out.